Hello everyone. I'm going to do a little tutorial on reed preparation. I hope you can dig it. Dig my crazy scene, baby. Okay, so this technique, I believe I learned it when in the 70s. I think it was Frederick Hemke or possibly Larry Teal that presented this information. So basically, I get really good results with almost any reed. I can use 8 or 9 out of 10. Of course, now they come in boxes of 5, but I'm fine. I've been using this technique for I call it the dry reed technique. I never soak these reeds at all. And I think that the technology of reed making has gotten really good. And we really don't have to do too much to them these days. So the first thing I'd like to point out is the structure of a reed. A reed is a cane, made from cane, which is similar to grass. It's not wood. So it has these little straws all the way through it. And they fill up with water. Now you can see that I can show you this test. Okay, so here's the bubble test. You wet the reed, and then you blow through the end. You should be able to see bubbles popping up here. I don't know if this camera's picking it up. Basically, that just tells you that the reed is a collection of straws. It's a bundle of straws. So anyway, what I do is I close off the ends of these tubes. I do that. Right now I'm using I think it's a 1000 wet or dry. You can also take 2 600s and rub them together, smooth them out. Then what you do is you only push it in one direction towards the tip, and what this does is it sort of seals off the ends so the reed does not take on as much moisture, significantly less moisture than it would if you didn't do this. And you have to keep doing this. You don't just do it once because it changes. But you can feel it right away. It's way smoother. So you have to do this every so often. Maybe every 3 or 4 times I play the reed, these tubes start to open up again, and then you have to shut them back down. And when you do it, you'll notice that the reed plays, it's more responsive. And I'm not sure exactly why, but I've noted that the reed takes on significantly less moisture, and so it plays longer before it gets waterlogged. And then they last longer, and I don't have to make any adjustments. I never really do any kind of carving on the reed. Well, actually I do. Sometimes I'll cut it back. I'll take a tool like this, and do the filing thing where you just cut it this way and then take a fingernail file and smooth it down. I do that I've been doing that on green Javas forever, and now the red Javas are already sort of like that. They're like that, but when I did it to the green Java, I will take considerably more material off. And I find that makes the reed more responsive. But the basic thing is this procedure right here. And it's pretty simple. I think really what happens is when you're playing, moisture just starts to collect and work its way back, and that's what gives your reeds variations in the way they play, because they're just soaking up different quantities of water, and so they play differently. So the dynamics has been shifted. And in the old days I used to use this material also this way, but I find that it's kind of unnecessary now. I just think modern reeds have gotten really good about being smooth on the back. You really don't need to do anything to this side. And then again, sometimes I'll go like this, just round out the edges. It makes it a little more comfortable if you're going to do a lot of playing. So that's pretty much my preparation process. And so sometimes I'll start with it dry, or sometimes I'll start with it wet. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. But the basic closing off of the tubes of the reed is the whole goal of this operation. And again, I don't soak them. I never soak them, and so I use a 2.5s. I've always used 2.5s for a few. Then back in the 90s, and late 80s, I climbed up, I think, to 3s, but there's really no reason for it. Now back then I was playing on a 9 mouthpiece. I don't know how I survived it, but now I play on a 5-star mouthpiece with the same 2.5 reed, and I don't really see much difference in. Seems like a reed is a reed no matter what mouthpiece you put it on. But anyway, that's how I do my reeds. It's super simple. I can use them all. They last a really long time, and you can use a softer grade reed if you do it this way, because it doesn't soften up as much. It stays, it does break in. It takes longer to break in, and it stays, maintains its playing conditions for a long time. This one feels really smooth, more so than this one when I did it dry. So, and then of course I wet them and play them just a little bit at first. When they're new, play them maybe 5 to 10 minutes each. Put them away, keep them in a reed guard. Again, I drill my reed guards out. It's just to keep them ultra dry. It's all about having your reeds minimal amount of moisture in them to get them to work. And then after that, about the 6th time they've been played that way, then I put them in rotation, and then they're in a reed guard where I flip off every set. I'll do one set, 40 minutes, and then I'll switch to another reed. And so if I'm playing every day, I need 2 of these. But because I find that it's not good to play the same reed all the time. It works, and a lot of people do it that way, but the reeds don't last as long. If you have 4 or 8 reeds in rotation, they're going to last a lot longer. And even when I'm playing a hell of a lot, I still don't go through more than 24 reeds a year. That's maximum. That's playing every day, 3 hours a day. So anyway, that's my story.